Families don't just disappear, right? Well, the following chilling cases defy logic, erase footprints, and leave nothing but haunting silence behind. Let's dive into 10 mysterious cases where entire families vanished. The McStay family. In 2010, Joseph and Summer McStay, along with their two young sons, Gianni and Joseph Jr., vanished from their Southern California home without a trace. Their house showed no signs of forced entry, and their beloved dogs were left behind, something they'd never do if they left willingly. Authorities had found their car near the Mexican border, sparking wild theories that the family had fled the country voluntarily. But nothing added up, especially when their bank accounts, credit cards, and phones went dark. The mystery only deepened until 2013, when a motorcyclist discovered 4 sets of human remains in a shallow grave in the Mojave Desert. DNA confirmed it was the McStays. They'd been bludgeoned and buried miles from home. In 2019, former business associate Charles Chase Merritt was convicted of what he did, but the motive remained murky. Why would someone execute an entire family and dump them in the desert? Even with a conviction, the chilling why behind this disappearance still lingers. The Martin family. On a chilly December day in 1958, the Martin family of Portland, Oregon, Kenneth and Barbara and their 3 daughters, set out for what should have been a peaceful day trip in the Columbia River Gorge. They were seen purchasing gas and picnic supplies, but then nothing. When they didn't return, a massive search followed. Investigators found their abandoned car near the Dalles, and rumors swirled about foul play. 2 strange men had been seen in the area, and fragments of human bones were discovered in the river years later. Susan and Virginia Martin were rediscovered months after the disappearance, but Kenneth, Barbara, and youngest daughter Barbie were never found. Susan and Virginia Martin were discovered deceased months after the disappearance, but Kenneth, Barbara, and the youngest daughter Barbie were never found. Decades later, some believe that the family was offed and their car pushed into the river. Others think it was a tragic accident. But to this day, no definitive answers have emerged. How does half a family turn up while the rest remain ghosts, lost to the current? The Jamison family. The 2009 disappearance of Bobby, Sherilyn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madison Jamison in rural Oklahoma is one of the most bizarre cold cases in American history. Their pickup truck was discovered on a remote mountain trail with wallets, phones, GPS, and even the family dog locked inside. Surveillance footage from their home showed the couple moving in a strange, trance-like state, walking back and forth without speaking, loading the truck robotically. What were they doing and why? 4 years later, remains were found just 3 miles from the vehicle. Their condition and lack of evidence made the cause of death impossible to determine. Theories range from cult involvement to drug activity to mental illness and even supernatural forces. Whatever happened to the Jamison family, it was no ordinary vanishing. It was as if they'd walked off the earth into a realm beyond reason. The Sodder children. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia caught fire. George and Jenny Sodder escaped with 4 of their 10 children, but 5 others vanished in the flames, or did they? No remains were ever found and suspicious details piled up. A ladder that was always propped against the house went missing. Phone lines were mysteriously cut. A witness claimed to have seen the children watching the fire from a passing car. The Sodders believed that the fire was staged to cover up a kidnapping, possibly due to George's outspoken political views. They posted billboards for decades offering rewards for information. One day, they received a photo of a man who looked like their missing son Louis, with a chilling note attached to it. Was it a cruel hoax or proof of survival? The Sodder case remains one of the most haunting unsolved family disappearances in American history. The Dinello family. In July of 2018, the Dinello family of 6 suddenly stopped all communication with friends, neighbors, and even co-workers in their small town in Italy. Neighbors noticed the house was eerily quiet, the car unmoved, and the garden growing wild. Local police performed a wellness check and found the house abandoned, dinner half prepared on the stove, and passports missing. Yet there were no signs of struggle or packing. They simply had vanished. Authorities believe that they may have left the country, but there was no record of border crossings, flights, or even ferry rides. The case baffled investigators, who later discovered encrypted messages on one of the family's computers, hinting at a doomsday belief and a plan to start over in the new world. Did they fake their own disappearance, join a cult, or did something darker happen before they could leave? The trail went cold, and no one has seen them since. The Tromp family. In 2016, the Tromp family left their home in Victoria, Australia for a road trip that would spiral into one of the strangest vanishing acts on record. Mark and Jacoba Tromp, along with their 3 adult children, left behind phones, passports, and credit cards. They did all of this because they believed that they were being followed. Over the course of several days, the family scattered across different parts of the country. One daughter returned home and alerted police. Another was found hiding in the back of a stranger's car. One son went missing for days before being discovered in a remote town. Eventually, the parents were found disoriented, Jacoba in a mental health facility and Mark wandering by himself. Strangely, no drugs or foul play were involved. Psychologists suggest a rare shared psychosis known as folie à famille. But the question remains, what triggered it? Why did an otherwise normal family suddenly fall into a collective paranoia and vanish into the outback? The Yuba County Five. In February of 1978, 5 young men from the Yuba County, California, Gary, Ted, Jack, William, and Jack, went on a road trip to attend a basketball game. But they never came home. Their car was found abandoned on a snowy mountain road far off course. Inside were maps, food, and no signs of struggle, and months later, the bodies of 4 men were found in and around the nearby trailer, some badly emaciated, others frozen, and one was never found. The trailer had plenty of food, yet no one had eaten it. What made 5 grown men drive into the wilderness, abandon a functioning vehicle, and fail to survive on resources on hand? Some believe foul play was involved, and others think a mental break triggered their strange behavior. The Yuba County 5 case is still debated by experts and true crime buffs alike. It's been dubbed America's Dyatlov Pass. The Sodder family again. While already discussed in number 7, the Sodder family deserves a double mention for its unique legacy. What makes this family disappearance so infamous is not just the night of the fire, but the decades that followed. George and Jenny Sodder refused to believe that their children died in the fire and kept their investigation alive until their deaths. Over the years, dozens of sightings, letters, and phone calls suggested at least one of the children may have survived. The family even hired private investigators and traveled across states based on tips. Some investigators believe the mafia may have been involved, while others claim that the children were taken as part of an underground adoption ring. Despite exhaustive efforts, nothing definitive has ever surfaced. And to this day, the fate of the 5 missing Sodder children is one of the most enduring family disappearances in modern history. The Dupont de Ligonnès family. In April of 2011, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès and his family, wife Agnes and their 4 children, vanished from their upscale home in France. Days later, police discovered a horrific scene. The entire family had been offed and buried beneath the patio in the backyard. All of them except Xavier. Surveillance showed him calmly withdrawing money, staying at hotels, and mailing cryptic letters to relatives. Then, nothing. He vanished without a trace, and the question is, was he offed as well? Or did he plan this as the ultimate disappearance? Over the years, he's been spotted in multiple countries, or people think it was him, but none of the leads have panned out. Some believe he joined a monastery, and others think he took his own life. But until his remains are found or he's caught, this case stands as one of France's most haunting unsolved mysteries. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Keepers. Though not family by blood, the 3 lighthouse keepers of the Flannan Isles in 1900 were a kind of a chosen family, living, working, and depending on one another. When a ship arrived to deliver supplies, the crew found the lighthouse abandoned. The table was set for a meal that was never eaten, and coats were missing. Yet the weather had been calm. A final log entry mentioned a storm that never appeared in any meteorological records. To this day, theories range from freak waves to supernatural forces, but no bodies were ever recovered. The mystery of how 3 men vanished without a trace from an isolated lighthouse continues to fascinate and terrify over a century later. But that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of this in the comments below. I'd love your feedback. And of course, leave a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe because you won't want to miss what's next. Thanks again.